Hi everyone, I am Alexandra Bello here with Flow Film Festival interview series. We are interviewing different films that are part of our selection, and tonight I have the opportunity to speak to Madhu from Death Offers Life. How are you doing tonight?
Fine, thanks madam.
Very good. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your film? It was shot beautifully, I enjoyed it a lot, and I would like for you to tell them what it's about.
Okay, this story came from my book. The book is my book, Princess of Life through Poggle. And it tells a story. Vincent Van Gogh meets death.
Very good.
It was published in 2015, and the story lay safe in that book. No one read it. Except for an review by a writer from Canada. Name is Brian Wilson. He's a dramatist and poet. In his review, he specifically mentioned from the stories this story. Actually, the story came from the pathetic situation of Van Gogh. He was never accepted in his lifetime, and he was insane also. He was also poor, and had not means for his treatment or food. So he drew pictures of his landlady instead of paying rent. Sometimes he may have done that. He drew the picture, series of paintings. There's a name, I don't remember that lady's name. About 3 paintings he drew on her, and he probably must have given it to her instead of the rent, an old barter sister. And he drew the picture of one of his doctors, famous doctor was there. That too was a series of paintings, 2 or 3 paintings. These pictures later, after his death, perhaps 1 year after his death, many people came after these pictures, and now the holder of one painting has the painting is a fortune for the holder. He can get the money for about 10 generations. For his 10th generation, nobody should work. That amount will come from this painting. But actually, the painter who drew this was in poverty and was insane also. Maybe the artist has a brain that produces electricity, which gives paintings. At the same time, his thinking, his attitude towards the normal life around him may be disturbed. Probably he can't get over with the life he faces from his surroundings. If he had been accepted, and if he sold only one painting in his lifetime, that too for $2,000. It was sold by his younger brother, Theo Van Gogh, who was an art dealer. That was the only sale he made. And probably if he was accepted in his lifetime, then you see there is a enjoyment in life. Even if you are insane, if you are popular and rich, if you have money, you can bear that insanity. You can work on your painting, you can develop your art, you can earn it, and at the same time you can enjoy that insanity also. But for Van Gogh, his fortune, which should have gone to him, never reached him. That was waiting for his death. It went to some others, those who hold it. Many of his paintings may have been lost. It is said that he drew over 900 paintings. I don't think that much is available now. Some of them are in Netherlands, France, and US too. Many museums hold it. The paintings held by the museums are invaluable. They cannot be determined a price like Mona Lisa, like that. Recently, someone in this Corona period sold some paintings in Netherlands. They could make a fortune from it. Actually, that was the point. One was suffering with the insanity, with poverty, with his ability, with his talent. At the same time, he couldn't enjoy its benefits in monetary benefits. He couldn't enjoy it. This must have disturbed me as an artist. This must have disturbed me, and I too. You just said what I said. 2015, I wrote this story. It was safe in that book, and it lay there. Actually, this film, no one came to me to make a film. One party earlier claimed it was the terms was that I should contribute 20% of the cost, and the two actors would bear the cost 40% each. Later, I had some difference of opinion with their director, and I went for a new director. And before that, I decided that I will be producing it 100%. It will be my investment. You can just act in it. So I could remove that director because I was in control. Then I went through some search in Facebook. I found out Sair Abbas. He had made two short films, and I saw it in YouTube. And one short film was named Inside, wherein it is about 10 to 15 minutes short film, where there's only one person. He's trapped inside his bathroom, and he can open the door, and someone is outside there going to harm his pregnant wife for some drug dealing, which the person in the bathroom has cheated the other person. So that was very convincing. That the direction was very convincing, and the tempo that created was good. And I felt that Sair Abbas was the right person, and I approached him. And he was actually working on movies. All want to get to movies through short film. So one condition is said that the story is good, but you have to shoot it in the movie style, otherwise it will affect our career. So if you are interested in it, it should be costly. If you are interested, we can go through it. I agreed to it. I asked permission of my wife, and she too agreed, and we went for it. And the shooting, when it was, so I told them, one thing you should take it, that the product you give me should be good. I am spending money here. What I get in return should be a good product of art. And I gave some suggestions like some Spanish films I viewed, the photography, the nature, capturing of nature, like that. It should be that much perfect. And he went for a photographer who was in the movie industry, Malayalam movie industry. Those people are costly. Like it was his friend also. He agreed to work, and they shot the film in the black magic pocket camera.
Very good.
The room was a small room. This action is taking place in a small room. It was actually the place where some youngsters who are going who are
Right, so that was a little cut, guys, a little break, but we are back. Madhu, why don't you tell the audience about your writing? You're an author, and you're now in film as well, writing. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I began writing from my 23rd year. Now I am 64. For the past 31 years, I have been writing. I started writing in Malayalam language, the language of Kerala in India. And later, when I think it's the same problem about recognition, the problem came about getting noticed. When you are not noticed, the next story wouldn't come. Actually, that's the problem. Only when people notice your story, say something, like that, then you will be encouraged to write the next story. So let's stop somewhere. And there was a break. And that happens usually. Then later, somehow I began writing in English. When I wrote in English, I came to Facebook. There I wrote continuously. There was a problem with that readers. There's no readers. That was not a problem for me there. Actually, I get about 5 likes or 10 likes for a post. But I continue writing. From 2012, I actually did more than 4 or 5 columns, each running up to 365 days or 365 episodes. Which I wrote was this book that actually came as this book.
We are back. There was a little cut right there. Madhu, why don't you tell the audience about your writing? You're an author and you are writing books, but also writing in film. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your writing?
About writing in the Facebook. And one column which I wrote was Cobweb. The name was Cobweb. I posted it daily. It was a conversation between two characters, a question answer or question counter question, like that. So there was what I named it was a cartoon strip, but I did not know to draw pictures. There was only one picture for 365 items. The picture looked like this.
Wow.
Like this. And daily one post I made, one question and then answer. The first one, it goes like this. The question is, like clay in the hands of the potter, are we to God? The answer is, that's old game, like flies trapped in cobweb, are you to the spider bar fate? That was the first post, and that was learned with this this picture, this cartoon picture.
Very good.
Based on that, like that, continued for 1 year, and later then I started another one thing was graffiti, writing on the wall, something like that. That went on for 365 days, and together and along with the English graffiti, there was Malayalam also. It was not translation, two different items. What goes in Malayalam, what pertains in Kerala doesn't ring with outside Kerala. So it went in two ways. And there was another thing as stories. That is, earlier Twitter used to allow only 140 characters. I wrote a story with Twitter earlier allowed only 140 characters. Now it is 280. So I wrote, Madam, can you hear me?
So let's talk a little bit about, what do you think, why do you think art, literature, and film is important, and how do you see it impacting society?
Literature and films are part of art. Art is essential to man, to make man better, for a better man, to create a better man. Art is essential. It is like food for him. If it is not available nearby him, he walks over to it, just see some scenery or some trees or mountains, rivers, sea, like that. He wants it. He goes somewhere to relax. So later, man must have brought this art into him, and he made art from him. That could be the reason for the coming of paintings, sculptures, and the cave paintings and sculptures. That time, might have been no language. Man might have not spoken then. Language might have been invented later and alphabet very much later. So when it was invented, it was created, that is a part of an art to make him better, to communicate. For effective communication, language was invented and later alphabet was invented. Somehow, some singers may have written the first poem or the first story. Later it developed.
Very
For
good.
some big stories, it went to novel and some made drama. These are evolution. Evolution is to become on like that.
So
So
I
it is
have
essential for man.
another question.
Okay.
Let me turn my camera on. Okay. I have another question. I would like to ask you, what is what you have loved the most about turning stories into film, and what have been some of the challenges that you have run into when filming a short film?
The basic reason for coming to a film is that everyone likes it. If 100% given a story, there's only 1 or 2% who will read it. But if it is a film, there's a chance that 75 to 80% people will see it. So everyone wants a movie. So those who feel that they can write a movie or direct a movie, so naturally go into that field. And the challenge here is basically money. If you have money, you can do anything. You can go for a big budget or something like that.
You can find the right team members. When you have money, you can find the right team members.
Right, team members, and we can go for the next item. Next
you just have to have vision.
Okay. In the short film, what we have is that we cannot sell this movie. So by issuing tickets, or there's no movie theaters in India to show a short film. So the only return we get is that through acceptance, award, in film festival, official selection, and the interview. This is the first time I'm getting an interview from outside Kerala, outside my state. So these are all the encouragement we get through this. Actually, I hope that something better comes from it. I can make so that I can make my next film.
That is what we can hope for when we make a work of art, that something better will come out of it. That is, that is the attitude, and that is the hope that we all work for when we do this work of love, and we put this art, artwork together.
Okay.
I have another question for you. What would be an advice that you would give filmmakers out there that don't have a lot of money but have beautiful stories and a clear vision of what they want? What would be your advice to them?
I think if you go for compromise, if you go for a film with a small budget, you don't strike the viewer. So, what Akira Kurosawa said, you write stories, you write it in paper. That won't need money. You write it and you keep it with you. When you get the money, you go for it. That's what I do have to say. Because even a 1 minute film costs much. If there is no money here, you have to find some finance somehow. That's not by raising loans, because you won't be able to sell your film. You may get some award or acceptance, but if you do not get another project or another invitation, then what you have made earlier would become a burden for you.
Very
So
true.
you have to get a team for it. Some people, some like-minded people who love movies, who love art, that people and associate with them, and then you should come to the field.
It is true. To make any film, even a no budget film, you're always going to run into some expenses.
No budget film is not a no budget film actually. It's there is some expense there also.
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the gallery view. I'm gonna change to gallery view. We are going to say goodbye to the audience. And I want to thank everyone watching this video on Facebook. And thank you so much for attending to another discussion, another filmmaker discussion that we are hosting here at Flow Film Festival and Market Facebook page. It's a filmmaker interview series. And I remind you that tonight we had Madhu with the film Death Offers Life. I got it. Thank you so much, Madhu. Please say goodbye to the audience and tell them how to find you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Tell the audience how to find you. If they can find you on Facebook. Tell the audience where to.
I have Facebook. I have a telephone number. What should I give? Facebook ID. My Facebook ID.
Yeah, the Facebook ID.
Madhu Narayanasamy Ramanathan. Madhu N.R. Should I tell my phone number?
No, it's fine with the Facebook. And we are going to tag you when we share the video. We're going to mention your name on the caption of the video, and we're going to try to tag you on the comments.
Okay. This is a great encouragement for our entire team. And we thank you for giving us an opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your information with us. We cannot wait to see you in person, even if it's not this year because of the coronavirus and all that. Maybe the following year with a new work, because you're storytellers, and storytellers always have something to give. So we hope to see you and interview you in person. That would be so amazing and enriching.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.